Yeah, okay.
Disrespectful and
Okay.
winner one hell of a kid. Smoking gas, drinking
Winner.
what you doing out of dick. Slick talker since a jet.
Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school, winter one hell of a kid. I am smoking gas, drinking mid. I'm lit, what you doing out in dick? I swear, slick talker since a jet. Finesse, I know that this what they want, facts. Run up some money, I'm gone, I'm out.
It's your boy Kai the Only, and today we'll be doing What If Asta Had Sasuke's Powers Part 2. I haven't actually done this in a minute, so yeah. But without further ado, let's get started. Also, excuse any and all background noises. We see Asta and Noelle talking, and then they hear Yami call. Yami will send them on a mission to defeat some boars in Saucy Village because he and Magma lost a bet. Asta will sigh, saying, "Why do we have to clean up your mess?" Yami would then grab Asta by his head and say, "Are you questioning me, brat?" Asta would then remove his hand and say, "Fine." After this, him and Noelle, Magma, would get on Magma's crazy cyclone, and head for Saucy Village. After they arrive, Asta easily slices down multiple boars, and after that, him, Magma, and Noelle will be on their way to take the boars back to the village for food. However, they notice the village covered in mist. After that, Asta would cut through the mist with his anti-magic blade, and him and Magma and Noelle would rush through. Asta would arrive to where Heath was, and he would slice all of the icicles into bits before they hit the villagers. Magma and Noelle would show up shortly after this, and Asta would rush at Heath as Heath would blast ice at Asta. I apologize. Asta would dodge easily by switching places with Heath, and Heath would get hit by his own ice attack. He would then try to send icicles at Asta, and Asta says almighty push, blowing them away, completely destroying them. Asta would then say do a nerf version of planetary devastation. It's a weaker version of planetary devastation. Don't get me wrong, Asta can use the real thing, but it would cause mass destruction, and he doesn't want to do that to the villagers of the village, so he just used the nerf one. Heath would then bleed from everywhere and from Asta's attack, and then would be unconscious. Heath's men, who were actually kind of powerful, would then rush at Asta as he would switch places with them and jump onto a building. He would then say, "This is training for you both, Noelle and Magma. Take care of these extras." Magma will say, "But what if I fail?" Asta would then say, "Well, don't. You're a man, aren't you? So stand on your own 2 feet like one, and don't let a 15-year-old show you up. Don't you dare embarrass yourself." Noelle would say she can't even control her mastic, and Asta would say, "If you fight, I'll give you, let's say, a reward." Noelle would turn red all around, and Asta knows that their weaknesses as so he got into their heads with it. He knows Magma considers himself a man, and he knows Noelle has a huge crush on him. Not saying he doesn't like her back, he just isn't awkward about it like her. Anyways, back to the battle. The flunkies will make blades out of magic and slash at Magma and Noelle. Magma is taking damage, trying not to get cut, but he then gets cut on the cheek and then stabbed in the leg eventually as he is about to be killed. Asta is about to step in when Magma gets up, as his magic will actually evolve and his flames turning into actual lava, aka Magna, as Magna would nerf it so it doesn't kill them, but he punches with a volcano like fist, like a magma fist, and it would knock most of them out. Noelle still can't seem to control her magic and is about to get sliced down. However, in the blink of an eye, she's gone, and they then look up, seeing Asta sitting on a building with Noelle in his arms. He would then touch Noelle on her back, letting his chakra flow through her, untangling her magic so she can control it. Asta would then say, "Try it now," as Noelle actually blasts the water ball and it hits its target directly, and Magma and Noelle will proceed to dominate the battle that they were once losing. After they defeat the extras, they would go back to the Black Wolves HQ and train with Asta more often, especially Magma. Magna. Asta would be in the process of training them in hand to hand, as Asta uses his hands to correct Noelle's stance. Sorry if that's cringy. I hate cringy things. That's the thing I hate most in what ifs, cringy relationships. Um, yeah. He told Magna to be more like a skipping rock than a bulldozer and be quick mainly, but also be pretty solid. You guys are a pain, I still say, scratching his head. You guys are so hard to train. Listen up, brats, Yami would yell. I'll be sending you all out on a mission, and the Wizard King specifically requested you, Asta. Asta would smile and say, the Wizard King, huh? Nice. After this, Yami would say him and Noel, along with Luck, will be exploring the dungeon, as Asta would nod his head, and with that, they would head to the dungeon. And once they there, constantly activates traps on purpose, which Asta constantly cuts down and stops. Another trap activates, and this time Asta didn't take it down, as a huge wind blast would knock it down. Yo, what say, it's been a while, Asta. Klaus will ask what are the Black Bulls doing here, and Asta says we're actually here from the Wizard King asking. Klaus will say impossible, and he is a liar, as he puts his hand on Asta's shoulder, and mocking him, and Asta would then smack his hand off his shoulder, and then Klaus would then glare at Asta intensely, stepping up, and Asta would stare him down back. After a while, breaks it up, and Asta suggests a challenge. Whoever gets there to the treasure room first is superior. Klaus agrees, and they will then start it. Asta and Noel will be walking as Asta says, where the hell is that psychopath? Referring to Luck. And Asta will activate his Sharingan sense to him as he grabs Noel and literally launches her to where Luck is, while Noel screams. Asta gets a huge fucking kick out of it, and after this, he would body flicker to where Luck is, and he would see him fighting this guy with smoke. Asta would tell Luck, yo, you psychopath, don't tell me you can't beat him alone. Luck would say, of course, and Asta would then say, let's go. Asta would then say, let's go then. Luck says that he'll do it all by himself, dashing at the man with a smile. However, Asta clotheslined him, slamming him into a wall. You don't have to fight alone. Fighting alone doesn't prove anything, as he will stare at Luck with the Renegon. Luck would eventually agree to what Asta is saying, and they easily take down the smoke man, as he would blast smoke all around so they couldn't see. However, Asta clearly sees through this with his Sharingan, as he would switch places with the guy, as the smoke man would get blasted with water and electricity, rendering him paralyzed temporarily. After that, we cut to Yuno, Mimosa, and Klaus, as Yuno is holding his own against Mars making a huge diamond blades. However, Yuno is blasting them with wind, blowing them up. Soon after, however, Mars will make a bunch of diamond claws, sending them after Mimosa, and Klaus. Mainly having to protect them, nerfing him as he eventually falls. Mars will make the biggest diamond sword yet, and is about to slash down. However, the blade magically blows up into pieces of rubble. Yo, look like you were gonna die there for a minute, Yuno would then look up and say, Asta. He would then stand and say, please, I wasn't gonna die at all. I was gonna use a huge counter to take him down. Oh, sure you were. Luck would then dash and take down the diamond clones along with Noel. Mars would proceed to swing his diamond blades, making 3 huge diamond blades, but Asta would cut them down once again, and Asta would then jump on the last one that he decided to not cut down, and he would run up the blade and then slicing it down once he was done running up it onto Mars's arm and jumping down off the armor. But on his way down, he slashes his blade through the diamond armor using chakra on his blade as he lands and walks away, as the armor turns into pieces of diamond rubble and Mars will bleed out. Klaus will be shocked at the power of Asta. However, everyone else is desensitized to it. So after Asta says, Klaus, you may have gotten here first, but I defeated the big bad that you couldn't even scratch. So we win. As Klaus is left speechless and all he can do is agree. Everyone will then open up the gates to the treasure room, and Asta slashing through the doors. Asta is surprised on how much, everybody else besides Asta is surprised on how much treasure there is. Then this is when Klaus will actually walk up to Asta and bow and apologize to and Asta and Luck because of how disrespectful he was to them, and said that they are excellent magic knights. Asta says, raise your head, it's no problem, Klaus. After that, they get the treasure, and return it, and then they are invited to a celebration by the Wizard King, and Asta and the rest accepts. It will be held in a few days. After that, they will return to the base and train for a few days, and after that, they will head to where the celebration takes place, um, to the royal capital. Yeah, using Fenrir's portal magic. After walking in, they all sense the hate and negativity. However, Asta just ignores and acts like he would normally, acting like the haters aren't even there. However, a bit after, Solid, who is Noel's brother, would walk up to attempt to pour water on her, but before the water could even touch her, Asta is there grabbing Solid's wrist, stopping him from pouring the water on her. What the hell is wrong with you? He would then stand on the table, summoning his sword. What the hell is wrong with all of you royals? We aren't different from you just because we aren't born spoiled and rich like you. Doesn't make us less of a person because of that fact. And whoever has a problem with me, come do something about it. A magic knight would try and cover Asta in sand, but he would slice through it, and another would use water magic, but he dodges and kicks Solid in the face, sending him into a wall, knocking him out. He would get attacked once again with water magic as it grabs him by the arm and yanks him, but he would backflip, neck chopping Noel's sister. As the sand magic guy would grab him with sand magic, yanking him once again, but this time Leopold throws fire magic at him um to test him, but Asta eyes turn into the renegade and he absorbs the flames, and he would then blow up the sand magic with chakra. After that, Nozel would walk down on Asta emitting magic, but Asta just walks down on him as well, emitting more magic, as Noel's magic presence would form into like an eagle, and Asta's would form into like a demon of darkness, like the Grim Reaper. However, Gorleon comes in to stop this and tells them that the kingdom is under attack. As they talk about what they should sit there and talk about what they should do, Asta says, if it's under attack, what the hell are you still doing here? As he would jump out of the window, running to where the attack is happening. And Yuno would actually follow close behind, flying out the window using wind magic, as he sees Asta taking down zombies left and right, saving people, and he would do the same. He would then Asta would run into the guy controlling all of this, and he would try to attack Asta, but Asta would dodge all of his blows, then stab him through the stomach, as he would bleed from his mouth, coughing up blood and passing out eventually on his deathbed. Meanwhile, other magic knights are putting the fire out and rescuing people, but Asta would get like warped into like a white void, and he sees somebody with long white hair and yellow eyes dashing at him at light speeds. Asta will activate his renegade, dodging but getting a cut on his cheek, and then Licht would try and hit him with a light blade, but Asta would dodge by switching places with him as he would get hit by his own light blade. Universal pull. He would then say, pulling Licht forward, grabbing him by his shirt, summoning a black rod, then stabbing him in the side, then throwing him into an air using a fireball about to finish him off. However, Licht disappeared out of the portal as the portal disappeared along with Licht. The bastard, he ran away. And that's where I'll be ending the video off, guys. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Sorry if this is short, and I'm out. Peace.